He's in there. The scream cut through the smoke like a knife, raw and frantic. Deputy Claire Maddox nearly dropped her radio as she lunged toward the scorched remnants of the camper. But it was K9 Rocky who reached the wreckage first. Nose low, tail stiff, ears alert. The German Shepherd moved with purpose, with instinct. The fire was still smoldering. The world had blurred into gray, ash, and dread. Seconds later, Rocky began to bark. Not just any bark, that bark. The one Claire had heard only once before, when Rocky pulled a drowning girl from a culvert. It was his "I found them" bark. And this time, it was coming from deep inside the burned camper that had collapsed into itself like a crushed soda can. Rocky didn't hesitate. He crawled through the twisted frame and vanished into the smoke. Nobody knew what they were about to uncover. Nobody expected what came next. It began 48 hours earlier. The town of Elkridge Falls had just welcomed the first warm spring weekend in weeks. Kids were outside again, laughter echoing across lawns and creeks. For best friends Benji Lawson and Caleb Hartman, it was the perfect time for a backyard campout. But the night didn't go as planned. Benji's older brother, Drew, had offered them an upgrade, his friend's old pop-up camper parked in a clearing off Forest Service Road 19. Hidden under the trees, near a winding stream, it seemed like an exciting adventure. Their parents reluctantly agreed, under one condition: check in every 2 hours. The first 2 calls came in on time. The third never did. By morning, the camper was gone. So were the boys. When search crews found the scorched wreckage 12 miles deeper into the forest, completely off-road, they feared the worst. A wildfire, still unexplained, had destroyed everything in its path. No bodies had been found. But no signs of life either. And then Rocky arrived. Claire had been partnered with Rocky for 2 years. He was a rescue himself, pulled from a neglect case in Missouri. Unadoptable, they said. Too aggressive. Too broken. They were wrong. Rocky became one of the most decorated search dogs in the state within 18 months. And now, as Claire crouched outside the smoldering camper, her eyes tearing from smoke and emotion, she heard something else, a faint cough. Then another. Firefighters tore into the wreckage, using crowbars and bare hands. And there, beneath a collapsed cabinet and partially melted paneling, lay Rocky, his body curled protectively around 2 soot-covered boys. Barely conscious. Breathing. Alive. Paramedics rushed them all to the hospital. Rocky refused the stretcher. He walked beside Claire, his coat singed, his eyes tired but proud. The town cheered. But the joy wouldn't last long. Back at the scene, forensic teams combed through the camper's remains, trying to determine the fire's origin. What they discovered left seasoned investigators speechless. Accelerants. Ignition points. Tool marks on the propane line. The fire had been set deliberately. But why? And how had the camper ended up 12 miles from where the boys had parked it? Claire sat with Benji once he regained consciousness. His hands trembled as he clutched the hospital blanket. "I heard them talking," he whispered. "They were going to sell us." Claire froze. Benji went on to describe masked men, 2 of them, who had taken the boys while they slept. Forced them into the camper, drove them deeper into the forest, and locked them inside. They said someone was coming to pick us up the next morning. Someone from out of state. Then, they left. A few hours later, the fire started. He paused. "We tried to stay low, but the smoke got really bad. I thought we were going to die. Then Rocky showed up. He wouldn't leave us." The investigation exploded. News vans lined the edge of town. Every parent clutched their children a little tighter. The words child trafficking were no longer something people associated with big cities or movies. It had come to their doorstep. The town rallied. Drew Lawson, Benji's older brother, was arrested 2 days later. Authorities uncovered messages on his phone linking him to a known trafficking ring that operated along rural state lines. He had sold the location of the boys for $15,000. His betrayal shattered the community. And through it all, Rocky remained at Benji's side. Weeks passed. The boys began to heal. Elkridge Falls came together in a way few towns ever do. Fundraisers, neighborhood watches, new safety programs at schools. And in the middle of every newspaper photo and every community vigil was Rocky. When the sheriff's department honored him with a medal, the entire town showed up. Kids held signs. Grown men cried. Claire, standing at the podium with Rocky's leash in hand, had to pause several times to finish her speech. But it was Benji who brought the crowd to tears. He took the mic and leaned down beside Rocky. "You didn't just find us," he said. "You stayed with us. You saved us. You didn't give up, so we didn't either." Today, Rocky is retired. He spends his days lounging in the sunshine on Claire's porch and visiting schools to meet children. He's a symbol not just of bravery, but of hope. Because what started as a simple missing persons case turned into a reminder of something much bigger. That evil hides in plain sight. That heroes wear fur. And that even in the darkest smoke, light can find a way through. Did Rocky's story touch your heart? Let us know in the comments below how this tale inspired you, and don't forget to share your own pet hero stories. Subscribe to Positive Tales for more incredible journeys of courage, loyalty, and love. Help us spread awareness and honor these four-legged heroes who change lives every day. Because sometimes, the best stories don't start with once upon a time. They start with a bark.